time seems to be flying by. Have you guys felt this too? My name's Chris, and usually I make videos about modifying my cars, taking them to car meets, kind of talking about car culture and all that stuff. But every now and then I like to just hop in the car and kind of talk about a topic that's been on my mind. I think back to my elementary school days, grade 3, 4, whatever, even grade like 7 and 8. And it's like a school semester, like September, October, November, December. Those 4 months felt like a lifetime. And even in university, you're kind of in your own world, you're in your own bubble, you're not really thinking about anything else, and the days go by slow, you're not too worried about anything, and you just kind of take things day by day. And what I noticed, and I don't know if you guys have felt this now too, if you've just started kind of in the workforce, or you're just finishing school or whatever it is. I just started a new job in January. I also do this, and I also run my own business, so working a lot, not that this is really work, but the other stuff is. And I find that I have blinked, and it's May of 2025, and I felt like New Year's happened 4 weeks ago. Do you guys feel like that too? And I wanted to really figure out why that is, and why time seems to be going so much faster now as you get older. I'm 28 now. Not that that's crazy old or anything, but I've definitely noticed a shift from when I was younger. And I think it's because when you're in school, whether that's elementary school, high school, college, university, whatever, you're doing so many different things. You're waking up, you're having breakfast, then you move locations to the school. Then you're in school, you're in first period or whatever, you're in one class, then you finish that up, you go to another class, you're with one set of people, talking, learning, growing, whatever, moving to the next group, now doing that all over again every hour and a half, every 2 hours, then you break for lunch, you go out, you're moving around, you're socializing, I guess you're changing like your state of being pretty much every hour and a half, the way you're thinking, what you're currently doing. And then you go home, you do your homework, maybe you have dinner. If you play a sport, you go off and do that sport. I played hockey for 15 years. You go do that. You're with a whole nother set of people there. Again, changing your state of being. Now you're focusing on something competitive versus learning. Like all this stuff is changing all the time. And I feel like doing all that all the time keeps you very busy, and it kind of puts life at a standstill where you don't really think about the future that much. And I started to think more about that, and I think I spend a lot of time, and I don't know if you do this too, spend so much time thinking about the future and what am I going to do next week and what's my plan then and what am I saving up for, that you forget to live in the now, and that makes things, if I'm always living for tomorrow, I'm never focused on today, and so these days just kind of blur together. And when we were in school, at least for me, I wasn't thinking about all that stuff all the time, and so I was just kind of taking it day by day, and things were going slow. A few months felt really long because you're doing all that stuff every single day, and then the weekend comes and again you're doing new experiences, and then you finish university. And this hit me pretty hard after undergrad, but then I also did a master's. So after my master's, it hit me really hard where it's like, okay, school is done. Like that feeling, that lifestyle, student life, living in a small town, university town is done. Now we're working, and I work from home now, and I love my new job is awesome. Work from home. I still run my car apparel brand, Apparel by Enemy, and then I obviously do this as well. And in January, Monday to Friday, sitting in my office working, going out, maybe filming a video or two for social media, going to play golf or whatever, going to the gym, but it's kind of the same routine. And that same routine day over day makes time like blur together. It's crazy. I think about some days like, I start work and it's like a Monday and then the week feels long, but then I blink and I'm like, oh my God, it's Friday. And it's like, I have sat in my room and worked on a laptop for 5 days straight and I haven't done much else. I'm literally filming this right after work, by the way. So I'm living what I'm talking about now. I just worked. It's 6 o'clock. Went for a quick run and then it started raining. So I jumped in here. But that routine of doing the same thing all the time, I think blurs time and blurs those days together. And so your brain can't latch on to any specific memories from any of those days. And so they kind of mesh together, and all of a sudden a couple months goes by pretty quick. And I don't know if you guys are experiencing that too, but that's definitely something I'm going through. So if you are, you're definitely not alone. And I have been actively thinking of ways to break that up. And so something I've told myself, and something that can help you guys too, is first of all, I don't want to be what they call like a weekend warrior, where you're just living for Friday, Saturday, basically. I think it's a pretty sad life. It's like, you know, whatever, 20-30% of your life you're looking forward to, the rest of it you're not. So what I work hard to do is, first of all, do my job super well so I can finish it at the end of the day and then I'm not thinking about it. And then do something during the week. I go golfing. Again, gym is something too, but even gym I don't really count because it's so in the routine that you want to do something fun. Do something that you're not going to be doing all the time. So for me, it's golf. For you, it could be a sport, a hobby, anything. Midweek is going to make a huge difference. Literally going to a movie tonight, which should be fun. But small things like that. And then trying to physically move locations is another thing I've thought about. And I think moving locations is something that breaks up that routine as well. And what I mean by that is, I think I read something somewhere that says like for 95% of a human's life, they like traverse within the same 5 square kilometer radius. So if you think about it, you know, for a majority of your life, you wake up, you go to work, you maybe go to the grocery store, you go to the movies, you go home, you go out to eat or something. And all that is happening within a pretty small circle. And that's the majority of life. So planning travel stuff, even just day trips or weekend stuff where you get out and you physically move, I think that is going to extend your mental life by a good amount. I think that's a good way to define it, because I know I'm rambling all over the place here, but sometimes how I look at it is like, if you turn 80, did you really live 80 years if you can only really recall 60 of them? Like, it's stupid, but it's like, okay, we're not really conscious or have memories till we're what, like 3 or 4 or 5 maybe? So it's like, do those couple of first years even count if we don't remember them? And it's like, and then all those blended together days that you didn't even think about, do those really count? Like when you're at the end? So it's like, if somebody gets like short-term memory loss, and then from 50, they have no memories from before and they're starting from square one, like, do those 50 years count? And that's where I think it's like, to extend that mental life, it's about making memories by splitting up the routine, moving around, trying new things. And the big stupid one is, of course, like, it's not stupid, but like chasing your dreams. I just didn't want to say that because it sounds so corny. But for me, that's doing the YouTube channel. Something I told myself, and I have a sheet in my room that says like literally activities for me to do. Like, I want to go to at least 5 major car meets with the M5 this summer. I've gone to one already, which I posted in my last vlog if you want to see it. And I'm going to one next weekend, which I'm also going to video. And so those are the kinds of things, like, set goals for yourself. What is it you want to do? And then ultimately just go chase that. I literally just watched a video that said, like, if you want to accomplish your dreams, just figure out what it is you want to do and do it in such abundance that the likelihood of you failing is so low. So just, you know, if you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to start a certain business, if you want to get good at a certain hobby, just do it as much as you can. Do it so much that the chances of you failing are basically none. Because the only way you can fail is if you stop doing it. And that's something I gotta tell myself every day. I promise this is the last part and then we'll cut it here. But something I tell myself every day is like, I've been doing this for like 6-7 years. There's probably, I think we have 4,000 subs right now. So there's 4,000 of you guys that love to watch this stuff, which I appreciate so much. I've seen people start channels way after me that have blown up way more. And I tell myself again, it's just me versus me. And the big thing is, whether I have 4,000 or 4 million subs, or whether you have 4,000 or 4 million subs, or, you know, your business is at $1 or $1 million, are you still going to wake up the next day and film that video? You know, try and sell your product, try and learn the instrument, try and get better at the sport, whatever it is you're doing. You know, if you perfected it tomorrow, would it really be satisfying? Like, if you achieved all your dreams tomorrow, would you be happy? Like, what would you work towards the rest of your life? So enjoy the process, split it up, and I don't know how we got here, but this all came from days getting longer, or time getting shorter. Time seems to be going by faster, is what I'm trying to say. And if you feel like that, it's probably because your days are blending together. And also as we get older, every year, every month of our life becomes a smaller percentage of it. You know, when you're 5 years old, every year is 20% of your life. When you're 50 years old, every year is 2% of your life. So it's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? So I think that's why things blend together. Anyway, I don't know if this resonated with you at all, but this is my chat video for the week. Hope you guys are doing well. New vlog coming next week as well for the car meet we're going to this week. It's a rooftop BMW meet. Going with some of the guys from the last meet again. Going to be taking the M5, which is going to be fun. So we're going to do that. And then coilover install on the M5 coming soon. Going to talk to a custom headlight shop as well because I want to do something with the headlights. So some cool mods to look forward to. And yeah, working on a new tee for Apparel by Enemy that's going to have a nice design of the M5 on it. So I'll show you guys that. And I hope you're doing well. Catch you in the next one. My name's Chris. Love you. Bye.